This is take two. I deleted the first one, so you won't know that if you're catching the replay. Now we are live on Created in Awe and the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina, and I'm getting a little warm now. We started this once, and I didn't have all the buttons pushed the way I should have. So, Christina, when you come on, let me know if everything is all good. Sound should be the same. I still can't see comments over on Christina's page. If you're catching the replay, let me know you came by. Drop something in the comments to say hi. If you're coming in live, also say hi, because we have some special things happening today, and I will fill you in. Yay, you're coming in. I see the numbers coming in. Come in and say hi. Ooh, I think I need to take my sweater off. I don't want to, because I'll get cold with the fan on. We are going to do the Vintage Cutting Board Toolbox Wood Kit from the Farmhouse Charmed by Joey collection that is on the Rust Covered Cottage website. Christina and I collaborated to put this collection together, and this came out with the fall release, I think. And I just didn't get it done. So we're going to do it today, and no, we're not going to do it for Christmas. We're going to do a little winter theme to it, but it is something that can be changed up for the seasons. One of my favorite things to do with my crafts is make them interchangeable, make it something that can sit out on the table all the time, and you just kind of adjust it and tweak it, add to it, take away from it, whatever you want to do for the season. There's Pamela and Criselda back. Thank you, ladies. If I don't see everybody's comments coming in, there's Beverly. Hello, you missed the craziness. Christina's coming on. Awesome. Okay, we look okay on your page. I did hit the right button this time. Got a little crazy curl going here. Let me know that we look and sound okay. We're gonna get started here in a second. I gotta get a few of these bottles out of my swing range, or I will just go knocking them off. We will need the glue. We're gonna need one color of paint for the box, and then there's a bunch of little pieces in here that you're going to have to take a look at, because I am excited about how this kit came together. Pinned it. Awesome. Oh, I need to put my link in here. Let's see. Got it. Let's go. Now this link it's featured, and this one that you see coming in on my page and the one that Christina pinned on her page is the link to Christina's website. It's my affiliate link, which means that if you make a purchase after tapping that, it does help me out, and I appreciate that so very much. Let me see if this is going to let me pin. Whoop. Hang on. Okay, I think I have to hold it. There it is. This is a different device. I told you the other day, I'm getting used to a new device. Tell me if that pinned. Yes, it did. Okay, we're good. Good. Say hi to Christina. She'll be watching her page for questions. If I miss something that I need to answer live, Christina, let me know over here. If you're watching on Christina's page, stay over there. I appreciate it. Watch wherever you want to, and we will be chatting along the way. And I know Christina will help with some answers also. Peggy's here. Hello. Talk to me when you come in. I hope you have your coffee. I got a new mug. My son, he got me a new mug from school. I'll have to tell you a quick story on that. My husband, ever since the kids started college, okay, I have two older girls who have graduated, and my son is in his junior year at college right now. And my husband has just always been so proud of them, and has every Christmas or Father's Day or birthday, whenever he thinks about it, he requests a mug from their school so that he can think of them when he drinks his coffee. That's always been his thing. And finally, my son got him a mug from his school, and this year he thought to get me one too. So I'm so excited. This is my alma mater also. So hello, Rose. How are you doing today? Is Nancy here? Hi, Nancy. Pam is here. Awesome. Okay, I might miss saying hi to a few people. We're going to dig into the project. I'll do my best to keep up with the comments and answer questions. I'll have to remember to tap the screen as I do that. So cheers. If you have your morning coffee going, I still do. It's got to get me going. Okay, so this just not exactly how Christina packs these up, because I had opened it to get something else out that was in this box, this package. But when you order from Christina, her wood kits that are from my collection are 1/4 inch thick. They are nice and sturdy birch wood. She cuts them very carefully. She's very particular about how these work, that they fit together, and that you get all of your pieces in your package, if you need to, lined up together so that you get an idea of how they're going to look. So for example, when you get one of, I don't have it handy, I moved it across the room, one of her like the tray sets or the pieces that have multiple little pieces that go on the front, they're going to be lined up so you can see what it's going to look like. But if you take it apart, you lose track of it, go over to her website. She'll have a picture of how it goes together. Now, a lot of these kits, you can make some adjustments. You can move things around, take something off, add something to it, change it up. But the way it's designed, she'll have a picture of it on the website. And she also loads in extra pictures when those of us here on Facebook get to craft the project and have a picture available. She'll put that on her website too. So scroll through if you see extra pictures show up on some of the listings. And I didn't mention here, I think I mentioned it earlier, this kit is part of her sale that's happening only through the end of the day, Sunday. So tomorrow night, if you're watching this live, or you get to see this today, December 29th, at the end of the day, midnight, as it changes over to Monday the 30th, is the cutoff. And her sale is buy one, get one half off. This is an amazing sale. You will be able to load up your cart with as many of the kits that you want. I think the only collection that's not included is the Chris Hunter collection. Now, you can still order those kits. They're just not going to be part of the sale. So all of the other kits that you get, for every 2, the second one that is lower in price will be half off, okay? And, I didn't know you were doing that, Christina. So she's got on her website links to the live video of the project that is pictured on the website. So you'll be able to, as you're shopping her site, you don't have to go back and forth and find the page of whoever made it. If you want to see how they made it, you'll be able to tap on it from the website. That's awesome. I know I probably missed that announcement. I'm sorry. Yes, the kits from Chris Hunter are very tiny and very detailed. And it takes her, just so you know, she cuts these to order. Okay, so it's not like she has a whole stack of these ready to go, sitting on a shelf, taking up room in her house. They are cut as you order them. So if she has to cut all of those little tiny intricate kits, that means all the orders take longer to ship out. And those are very detailed kits. So thankfully, I'm so thankful that my collection could be included. There's also another collection by Jamie with row 12. And, and of course, all of Christina's are included as far as I know. Okay. You've been doing that for a while. Sorry. Sorry, I missed that one. Peggy got an order placed. Awesome. Hello, Kimberly and Angel. I'm glad you guys could be here. One more thing I got to mention, and then we're going to dig in and craft. Actually, let me go ahead and open this while I'm talking. If you're able to spread the inspiration, is what I say, or sprinkle or share the video, you have to tell us in the comments, whether you're on Christina's page or my page, either one. Tell us in the comments, because later today, I don't know when, maybe she can tell us, she will be picking 2 people who spread out the video for some happy mail. So let's get all of these out. Let's see, I need to cut the plastic open around this a little bit more. And by the way, the cardboard that she uses is pretty handy as a background for painting. So I will go ahead and do that today, because we have a lot of pieces to paint, and it just saves me from cleaning up a lot as I go along. All right. Get that. All right, here is, it's like a tool caddy, toolbox tool caddy, and it has this spindle on both sides of the handle. These are extras I'm going to show you that come with it. Okay, so here are your pieces. You've got the bottom, so it's a square caddy. You've got two, I'd say, front and back sides that have a little scoop. And then this is the cutting board part of it, okay? So these are to look like cutting boards, and these go on the ends. And then your spindles are going to go back to back, like so, into the slots, into, that one's, oh, it is in the slot. I didn't see that. Into the slots, like so, to be your handle. So let's get this painted up. Let's get it put together. And I'm going to fill it with something as well. Any questions? Hi, Rochelle. Glad you could be here. Hello, Miss Anita and Susie. How are you? You got an order placed? Awesome. Get that order placed. She extended the sale. It was supposed to end, what was that? Thursday night or Thursday morning. I'm not sure. And so many people missed out on it because, you know, we're all busy with the holidays right now that she extended it. I'm so glad. Alrighty, so you can usually tell the front and the back. Like, for example, nice, pretty, clean. You could stain this if you want to. You could do all kinds of finishes on this. And the inside has just a few little extra burn marks. Now, it's not that big a deal. If you want this to also be pretty and stained, just sand those edges, okay? Sand off those burn marks. But to me, I like the fact that they're there so I can tell the front from the back. So for this project today, I am only going to paint the outside of the box, well, the outside of these pieces, and not the bottom. I'll come back and do those later, but just to save time, for these three pieces, I'm only going to paint, well, in fact, this one, not at all. We're only going to paint the front. For the cutting board, though, I'm going to paint the inside because that is definitely going to show as we put this together. And then I want to show you, before we get too far along, let me get my little spindles. I love the spindles on this. Yes, she extended it. You have little picks, little plant stakes, so to speak, that fit in here. And they're all, isn't that pretty? All different shapes. Okay, I can't even describe them. They're just so pretty. Ovals and rectangles and squares. And then this one, you get two. I got two of this one. Christina, tell me if that was an extra. I think there are supposed to be a total of 5. Tell me if that's correct. Now you can, this is where you can really change it up. You can put a little message on here. You can handwrite it with Sharpie if you want to. You can paint it on, you can stencil it, you can decoupage something cute on here. Lots of options. I have to decide which one I'm going to use for what we're doing this time, which we're going to do a winter theme. All right. I'm looking just to see if there were any answers. And I'm going black, okay? I would love to hear what color you would choose. Now remember, you can make this to go year round. So make it to go with your general decor, is my recommendation. Now, if you're giving it as a gift and you want it to be a seasonal gift, let's say maybe you're doing a Valentine gift or you're doing something for spring, you might pick a color for your box to fit that season. I'm going to go with black, more of a primitive look, and then I'm going to change out my little stakes for the seasons. What do you think? Pam, that is how we designed the stakes. She's so smart. Pam knows that I do Magnolia Design Co. stencils, and that's what I'm going to be using today on one of these stakes. They are sized big enough to fit our minis. So Magnolia has every season at least one, sometimes 2 or 3 different sets of minis, which are about a 2.5-inch square size stencil, and they're going to fit on these. So you're so smart. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I know, Susie. That's what I love is making things interchangeable. Okay. And you see everything. We're giving it all a coat of black. And after my project last night, I did go in and thin down my paint because it was very thick. It may be a little too thin now. I'm hoping not. But I gave it a real good mix. I'm going to go ahead and pour it into a dish so it's easier to use. But I'm using Waverly paint. It's just, that's my go-to because I can get my hands on it at Walmart. Because that's easy access for me. You may prefer, oh, that's a perfect consistency. Perfect. Except it's a big old mess around the lid now. Let me wipe that off. Let me do a little bit of maintenance here just to keep me from having too big of a sticky mess on my paint lid. Get that on there. Okay, I'm going to use a sponge dauber because it is super fast. I don't need a heavy coat of paint. It's fine with me if it's a little bit thin in areas because we're going to be sanding it to expose some of the wood underneath anyway. All right, so front sides of these two pieces, and I start in the middle and I swipe toward the outside edges. That keeps it from getting glops of paint, heavy paint over those outside edges, making it take longer to dry. Now you can paint the edges if you want to. Not a big deal to me because that burnt edge looks so similar to the black, and I think I might actually, I'm going to put a little bit on there. We're going to be sanding it, but let's go ahead and add just a little bit of paint to those edges. Now remember, I'm going to come back, I lied. We're going to go ahead and paint the inside too. All right, let's hold it in a couple of, I'm not painting all of this. I'm not giving it a heavy coat, I'm not worrying about those interior corners. We're going to get it sanded a little bit. So we'll come back. Yes, I'll do the inside of it. Wasn't going to, but let's just get it all done. The painting process takes a little while, and I hate that for you guys, that you have to watch painting. But when I use the sponge dauber to paint with, it dries super fast. In fact, these pieces should be dry by the time I finish all the other painting. And then we can come back and do all of the insides. Oh. There we go. Did I get that bottom piece over here? No, I didn't. Just dab it. Just dab it lightly. Keep having to tap the screen. Which stencils? Someone wants a link to them. There's a featured link. I didn't come back and put my link in here, did I? Hold on. This is the Rust Covered Cottage affiliate link first. That I'm going to pin so you can get access to it. Okay. And then I'm going to add in my website with Magnolia. Next. That will take you to all of the products from Magnolia. Type in the word minis, M-I-N-I-S, and it will bring up all of those sets of 12 minis for the seasons that are available right now. You'll be able to get Christmas and fall and Valentine's. Those are the 3 seasons that are showing right now. So I'm going to be using one from fall and one from Christmas. I'm going to do a double-sided. So I will tell you what those are here in a little bit. Ooh, pull that sleeve back up. Let's keep painting. I am so glad you let me know that, Christina. Because I can't see your the comments on your page. It'll be like a black stain. It is actually going through pretty dark, but as it's drying, you can see the wood grain. It is showing through just a little bit. But I love the black when you go for that primitive look. Let's do these edges first. If you want more solid coverage on your edges, Go a lot slower than I'm doing. But if you're going to be sanding it like I'm going to do here in a minute, well, in a few minutes, then honestly you don't have to worry about full coverage. Okay, got the edges. I think I'm running low on paint. I need to get some more paint. All right. Want to make sure I'm not going to lean against this. I should have an apron on today because anytime I do these big projects, I forget that I should put an apron on. Little projects don't tend to cause me any trouble, but the bigger ones do. Let's get some more paint in here. Quite a bit more. There. But black is, you know, can't really get black out of your clothing, so be careful if you do black like I'm doing here. There's a lot more on that one. All right. And let's do the spindles while we're working from side to side here. Again, they don't need, the tops of these are for sure going to show. The back is not, because they're going to be glued together back to back, but the edges are going to show. And you could do this, I should have stained this spindle now that I think about it. Then it would have had, I don't know. You could stain the whole thing. And that would be even faster, right? Get a little bit of paint, starting with these edges. Get the edge of my dauber that has the paint on it. Okay. Now, it's a lot of paint. I don't want it super heavy on here because then I lose the detail. There we go. Okay. These are drying. These are pretty much dry over here already. So we're making our way across. And we will do the back. Get some of this paint off. It's a whole lot easier, guys, to paint these edges first. Usually I don't think about that. But since we decided right at the beginning to do the edges, I was smart, and I'm remembering to do those before we paint the sides. So how's everybody doing? I haven't seen some of you. Hey, Joanne, we are doing, I put it in the description, we are doing one of the kits from Christina's website, the Rose Cover Cottage by Christina. This is also part of my collection, the Farmhouse Charm by Joey collection. It is the vintage cutting board tool box kit. Long name, but cute project. All right, this side is done. Let you dry, let you guys dry. Let's flip these over. Did I miss anybody else coming in? Lizbeth, hello, how are you? Late to the party, no problem, no problem. If you have your coffee, cheers. If I didn't get to say hello on my page, I will come back. We are also live on Christina's page. If any of you on mine are not familiar with Christina's page, it is linked in the description of the video. Please give her a follow because she is the mastermind behind all of these kits that you see me do with the wood cutouts. And we all love her, and I know you will too. Oh, I've got to push this sleeve up. I think I'm going to have to get this sweater off. It's getting in the way, guys. Oh, there's a piece of last night's project. We did some decoupage last night. Oh, and we had the same primitive look going. So we did these frames with some Easter bunnies, getting ready for some spring happening. So I've got the same kind of look going today. I'm not going to have the gold accent to it, though. No gold accents. We are going with the wood tone. Okay. Bits of glue. That's okay. As long as I don't have bits of other colors of paint. That would not make me happy. Okay, this one, yes. So we're making sure we're doing a thin layer. You could give this a full 100% coverage coat, maybe 2 layers if you want. If you're using a sponge like I am, and you want full coverage, do 2 coats. Because this goes on very thin. And the purpose for me on that is so it dries quickly. I don't mind adding a second coat. I don't need to do the back of those. I didn't do the bottom. I was skipping the bottom. Let's add that in here. Let me slide these over. Slide my coffee out of the way. Let's make some room. Those are done. Those are done. Let's go ahead and do the bottom. I think the edges are all going, no, not these outside tabs. These outside tabs are going to show, but the interior ones, and I should have paid attention on this, are going to be hidden behind another piece of wood. Right? Yes. So I don't have to worry about that too much. Let's go ahead and get this painted. I can't believe I'm going to need more paint. This is taking a little more than I thought it was going to. So this is the bottom piece. Are you seeing how it's going to work together? Okay. Now if you don't have sponge daubers and you use a paintbrush, not a problem at all. Just be careful not to get a whole bunch of paint over the outside edges. That's done. Let's get this one done, because it will take longer to dry. I need a little more paint. Let's get this out of here. Use the last bit of that. And I'm not doing anything else in black, so we'll just put it right on here. There we go. And in case I need more, I'm going to leave it open. Ooh, that's a pretty good amount. Just swipe it on. So tell me, do you prefer painting these kind of projects with a paintbrush, or do you use the sponges? I think I started using these sponges early on doing these projects because it just was so much easier. Okay. The back of this is the only thing I have left for the black paint. And I need to pick my pick, pick one of my picks, and I think I'm going to go white because this is a winter theme insert. Oh my goodness, Debbie, it has been a long time. I'm glad you could be here. It's so messy. Even sanding it, yes, sanding it can be messy. We're not going to sand a whole lot, thank goodness. That's already dry. We are going to just hopefully get the edges pretty easily sanded. We'll see. I mean, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, and I could come in with maybe some paint if I need to kind of give it an effect. We'll see. All right. Alrighty. That's it. That's it. And it's a little bit light in a couple spots, and that's okay. But we've got all of this. I only have to do the front side of the spindles. I think we're good. Okay. This is going in the water. Messy Black is getting its lid on nice and tight. I'm going to put it away. Oh, this, I didn't tell you. It's Waverly, but the color name is Ink. And we're going to grab the plaster color and go ahead and paint the other piece. Let me get my hands a little cleaner, especially since we're going to handle white. I don't want to get any of this messy black on it. Good morning, Ms. Denise. Hey guys, if you're watching over on Christina's page, stay there. Christina should be able to answer your questions or come in here and tell me if there is something. I apologize. This device will not let me see both pages at the same time to answer all the questions. So I absolutely appreciate you today, Christina, letting me know if there's something I can answer on the other side. Makeup sponges, spray paint. Yes, you could do this so quick with spray paint. So quick. Did I miss something? Lynn, how are you? Wax on, wax off. Yes, wax is fast. All right, let me go ahead and put that there. Keep that from drying out. Let's make a little room. Wiggle these out of the way a little bit. And paper towel. Just so I don't get black. Okay, I don't know which one I want. Let me show you the stencil I'm going to use. Stencils. I have 2 of them. Okay, so I have a huge selection of the mini stencils from Magnolia. Look at the minis and pick the season that you're going to do and see if you can find. If you want it both sides, you know, double-sided on the pick one that has a couple of stencils that are going to fit. So like I said, you can get your fall ones, your winter ones, and your Valentine ones right now. Now, the Cuddle Weather is from our fall minis, and Let It Snow, of course, is from our winter minis. So I thought these would be super cute. Okay, you could even do like a snowflake on one. If you have snowflakes, you could stamp on it. You can decoupage, you can hand paint. So looking at these 2, I like this one. I like this shape right here. So we'll do this one. We'll save these others, and I will wait and paint them for the different seasons as I decide what I'm going to do with them. So set this aside. We're going to paint both sides. So let's get Krusty's in the trash. And another sponge dauber. This one I can fit right down in the jar. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the outside edges, but there's a whole lot of paint on here. So let's start with the top. And again, I'm not doing full coverage on my painting of the edges. Okay, we will distress those. See, you can still see that wood tone coming through. Let's go down the sides. Now, the end of this is going to stick down into whatever I have in the box. The idea that I had in mind was a floral arrangement, but you could use this box to actually hold tools if you want to. That would be super cute. I love that idea. Or you could do maybe your kitchen tools, like your cooking tools. You could use it as a utensil box for a party, if you're having a party. Yeah, I didn't get very heavy coverage on this. Let's dry it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat on this side, and then we'll flip it. And do the other side. So let's get this painted up. You want to dry in between coats. There we go. The reason I went ahead and did 2 coats on this side is because I can see those scorch marks. I could have sanded it first, and I really didn't want to see the scorch marks. We will do a little sanding here in a couple of minutes on the edges. Oh, thank you, Christina. If I've missed you, I'll come back and say hello. Make sure you chat with me in the comments. That's a big help to me. And 2 announcements that we have made early on. If you missed the beginning, Christina has a sale going. Of course, I don't think you could have missed that if you watch my my Facebook page. I've been announcing it. But she has a sale going. Buy one, get one half off. only through the end of the day, Sunday, December 29th, right down to midnight that night. If you load your cart, you'll see at checkout that the second, half of your kits, the lesser cost kits, will be discounted to half price. Plus, she's given out some Happy Mail today. I think that's pretty good coverage on that side. Let's dry it first and check. If you sprinkle the video, spread it out, share it, whatever you call it. I call it spread the inspiration. Just tell us in the comments. She's going to pick 2 of you. She'll look at all of the ones on her page, on the Rest Cover Cottage by Christina, and she'll also look through mine and randomly pick 2 of you to get some Happy Mail. So make sure you let us know if you were able to share it out. It doesn't have to be public, but if you're in any crafting groups, that's usually a really good place to share it to. You can share it to multiple places too. Okay, we're looking good. Done with the white. We're done with our painting, guys. I'm so happy. I'm going to let this dry, and we'll come back and stencil it. And these should all be dry now. Get the paint covered up. Yay! Sharon Durango sprinkled. Thank you, thank you. Christmas was good for me, Joanne. How about you? Hello, Lynette. Hello, Carol. Good to see you guys. Make sure you're saying hi over on Christina's page too. Christina is monitoring those comments. Oh! Hang on, I bumped this and the whole stack wants to fall off the table. All right. I think my white paint is dry. I'm going to get another paper towel just to make sure I don't smear white on the box. We do have some crusties. Now we're going to glue the box together. The glue that you use will depend, thank you for the hearts, will depend on what you're going to put in your caddy. So if you're going to put anything heavy in your caddy, I would suggest wood glue. In fact, let's go ahead and do a combination. I consider Titebond Thick and Quick pretty much like a wood glue, okay? It's really good and sturdy. I'm going to use this alongside my Stick Fast. The Stick Fast will dry within like 30 seconds and hold everything together until the Titebond really takes hold. So let's make sure, oh, the whole lid came off. Just want to loosen this. Okay. We'll start with the bottom and the side, we'll do the sides, and then we'll do also the spindle. Let's work on that. So I'm going to set this on its side. Make sure my Stick Fast glue is unclogged. It's usually clogged because my lid is cracked. Stick Fast, both of these you can get on Amazon. Can't find, I think the Titebond you might be able to get in the craft store, and you might even be able to find both of them in your hardware store. Or you could just use regular wood glue instead of the Titebond. Happy New Year, Belle's Craft and Vintage Marketplace. Glad you could be here. Oh yes, Deborah, she extended it. I'm so excited. So you have it through the end of the day on Sunday to get in on the sale. All right, bottom. Spindles are going to go in a minute. I'm going to do the 2 short sides first, and we're going to glue them to the base, and then we're going to come in with one of the cutting board sides, and then we're going to start in on the spindles, and then we'll do the other cutting board side. And because we painted both sides of this, we can not worry about which is the front, which is the back. All right, here's my plan. First of all, pay attention to where it's meeting up. These tabs at the base of my side are going to be to the they're going to go inside. They're going to meet up with the base, okay? And then the top of this tab. So that's where my glue is going to go, okay? Let's start with a dot, couple of dots of the wood glue, and you can come back with paint and touch up if your glue dries and shows. All right, so a little bit of that wood glue. Now we're going to come in with the stick fast because it dries faster. Put some on each piece. And then we are going to put this together. I really don't want it on my table. I just want it on these pieces where they're going to meet up. And I'm going to hold it in place for a minute. Let that stick fast. And it is thick. I don't know if you can see under that orange line on that. It says thick. That's the type you want. Peggy is sick. Oh no. I hope you feel better. Happy New Year. I see that. Did I already say that? Okay. See, I have a little bit of this glue oozing out, but I'm not going to wipe it off because it's going to help anchor everything together. Ideally, it's not really showing on the outside. We'll have a little bit of the wood glue showing out here. If I need to, we'll touch it up. Hopefully it's only showing on the inside, and I'm really not even going to worry about it. See, ooh, it's gluing to the mat. Pick it up, make sure it's not going to glue to your mat or your table. There we go, that's good. Now we're going to do this other side. Same thing. On this side of my tabs, you can't see, here, and on the top of this tab. So, a little bit of glue, a little bit. I'm using more wood glue than stick fast because the wood glue is what's really going to hold it in the long run. Okay. Put this together. Hold it in place. I'm going to kind of lift it off the table a little bit so it doesn't glue to the table. And hold it steady. You don't want your glues to mix, just so you know. That's why I put them side by side. And this one, I actually didn't get a whole lot of wood glue where it meets up with this piece. Whoa! So I'm going to add a little bit. And a little bit of stick fast. It's okay if it shows on the inside. Hold it steady, Joey. You're tilting it. Just hold it with one hand. It should be fine. Got hairs coming in my face. It is time to wash the hair soon. I'm gonna hold that. Still a little bit wobbly. I think it's because I put my stick fast on fairly thick. Okay, I think that's good enough. It'll be more secure once I put these sides in. Okay, so we're going to start with this side so you can see what I'm doing. Again, top of this tab and the side of that tab. These two tabs. Oh, no. No, stay. We'll get you all secure. I need to go ahead and do glue on the sides too. Now that I think about it. So this top part is going to go against that wood. Okay. And then the sides of these are going to go against this. So there. Whoop, that's a lot. Okay. See how I got all of my dots on my tabs where they're going to touch the other wood. Now, I'm going to try not to put quite so much of the stick fast on. So, hopefully. Oh, I didn't do this side. Dang nabbit. We'll come over here and do this side. We're going to get it. If you haven't seen me before, just know I am not the most graceful person. I am a messy crafter. I do make mistakes. And we learn together how to fix them. So, for that, stand up. Then we're going to slide this one into the slots. See, now it's going to anchor together and let it hold. Wait, that didn't go in the slot. Go in the slot. There. Now it's in the slot. Plenty of glue in all the places. I'm really pressing this at the bottom up against the bottom of it to make sure it's touching. You can see, I'm looking at the screen, you can see all of my glue dots. That's okay. It's just going to help it stay together better if there's a little extra glue in there. I just don't want it on the outside, right? There's a little bit, not too much. All right, I think that's pretty well anchored. All right, now, before we put this one on, we're going to work with our spindles. Probably should have done my sanding before I put it together. Your spindles are going to glue back to back, so you see the etched lines are the outside. So they're going to glue back to back, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it into this slot so that when this next one comes on, it fits right in. Okay? So we're going to let you sit for a minute. Glue these together. We'll put some wood glue. There we go. Switch to my stick fast. Oh, I didn't need to glue both of them. Just glue one. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of glue. Hold on. Let me swipe off some of this wood glue because it's gonna ooze out if I have too much. Wipe you off on here. There. Don't use too much glue. Okay. Now, you want them to meet up along all the edges. You are going to see the seam in between, but you can come back and paint over that if you need to, if you want to make sure. See, my glue is oozing out a little bit. I'll get that here in a second. I want to make sure that my stick fast can get everything stuck together there evenly. I'm going to hold it for a second. Got it all even now. Oh, what? You know, so many people had illnesses happen right at Christmas time. Why is that? Well, it's because we're all back together again. With my wipe, I'm going to clean off some of this extra wood glue that oozed out. Boy, I would have had a lot more if I hadn't swiped some of that off. There we go. Okay, sorry, I've got black paint on me again. All right, so now this is all glued together. Yes, it's a rough paint. We will be sanding. And yes, you can sand the pieces before you glue them together. That would probably be smart. Okay, now that's going to fit right in there. I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on this guy so as it goes into the slot. So let's do the wood glue on the top and bottom. And the stick fast is going to be on the sides. It's going to go right in. Hold it for a second. And then I'll swipe off the wood glue. Good morning, Sandy Mulder. How are you? You love it. I know, I do too. And I'm so sad that it took me so long to get around to making this. But this is a great time to do it because we have, are you like stuck in that limbo of in between Christmas and New Year's? Isn't this a crazy time? All right, now it's a little bit delicate because it only has a little bit of the stick fast on it, but it should hold. And scooch it over a little bit. We are gluing these pieces. Okay, so we're doing the same process. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on, let's see, the inside of the sides. A little bit. I've been putting way too much on, so just a tiny bit in these spots and the base. Let's just do a 1 dot here. That's a lot of glue. Now we're going to come in with the stick fast in between. Okay. I'm also going to put some on this slot here and here because it's going to meet up with different parts of the wood. I'm putting a lot of the wood glue again. Don't mean to do that. Okay, here we go with our wood glue on this guy. It's delicate hanging there. I've got to hold it carefully. Put my... Okay. Now we're going to start at the bottom. Slide this into place. Start sliding it into the slots on the sides so I know they're gonna fit together, and there. Once it's all together, you just basically press it on. And oh my gosh, this is so cute. Look at this. Look at it. It's just adorable. Hold tight. Now remember, handle it carefully until your stick fast. Oh, it's not setting over here. Gotta hold this on. Till your stick fast is dry. And then it's pretty sturdy. You can start like sanding and you can add your pieces to it, which we're taking quite a while on this video. I may have to do my filler later. I don't know. It won't take me too long to do the filler. Okay. There we go. What do you think? What do you think? Now, just don't mind all the extra glue that's sticking out. Ignore that. I see some over here. Just use your wipey to get some of that off. Get some of it off here. Now, the sanding, I think, actually, maybe the sanding is what I'm going to do. Only a little bit of, and I'll finish it afterward. So let's just work on one side with the sanding. Let's get the gator out. And I'm going to be careful. Let's see if I can set it on its side. And I'm going to focus on the edges, okay? Please excuse the sound. Ah, I don't even have a little thing on there. Hang on. I took it off because it was full of paint. Where's my extras? They're in here. My organizer friend put them in a different spot, I believe, than I would have. Here they are. Okay, this is one of those little gator sanders you can get. You can get these at the hardware stores. And they have Velcro to change out this. So I was sanding with Velcro. So smart. Okay, so hold this steady. And I'm coming in against the front and the side on the corner. Okay? And I'm going to actually go heavier on the top too. Okay. Try to keep my coffee away from it. So there's a light sanding to show a little bit of distress there. Let's do a little bit more, especially as you're putting pressure with your sandpaper and your make sure you're still holding everything together so that it's not going to come apart while you're working on it. But that stick fast. Now, I didn't mention it this time, I have before, about using hot glue with these. I don't recommend hot glue because it is so thick, it's going to ooze out. Okay, yes, it does dry quickly, but it will ooze out. And that's not pretty. That's why I use the Stick Fast. You just come in and sand as much as you want. The bottom of this is going to have more wear on it and the corners. There we go. And I think what this does with the sanding is it helps to highlight the very edges and almost makes these little tab sections like disappear, because you're not looking at those, you're looking at the sanding. There we go. Now you can sand some on the sides too, and you can also like stencil on this, decoupage on the whole thing with like a napkin or a tissue paper or rice paper, something, a pretty pattern. You can, like I said earlier, you can make this seasonal. You can pick a color you like for the season, and you can, sorry the noise, wow, it's so loud because it's echoing inside the box. And you can put like anything you want on the sides if you want to do this for the season. You can even get like 4 of these, make 4 different seasonal designs. Okay, so you've got to get all the edges with your sandpaper, and sometimes you've got to swipe that paint away. Hang on. There we go. And you're gonna probably come into the inside a little bit too for these parts that show, which is mainly the handle. Where you handle it is going to have more wear. Does this sound bother you guys? Is it getting annoying? Dried flowers would be so cute. I still think if you have some antique tools that you get, I would love to put, I have some antique, well, vintage, thrifted kitchen tools like whisks and potato mashers and things like that. I want to get some more, and I think that's what I would possibly display in this. But we're going to go ahead and do a floral option. Okay, I'm not going all around the back. I'm just doing these sides to show some wear. Okay, so you got the idea. I will do more later. Let's do our spindle handle. I think I've got a lot of paint. Oh, I need to put the lids on my glue. Did anybody remind me of that? No. Did not remember that. That'll be clogged again. This one will have, I'll pull off that extra glue on that one. All right. And so the lighter your coat of paint, the easier it will be to distress it. Okay, now one thing I want to try to do is get into the lines of, I might not be able to with my little gator. I wanted to sand, I need to sand it flat. I wanted to highlight the etched lines a little bit. There, it worked a little bit. So did you guys think about what color you would do your tool caddy? Would it be black, or would you stain it? Or do you have a color in mind? So I took off a little bit of the paint just in those etched lines so it highlights them, because my paint went down into it. There. All right. So here is the front side of your caddy. What do you think? Do you like it? Homespun vintage tea towels. Oh yes, you can roll them up and have them all cute, or you can hang them over the sides. You could do a whole little vignette with this. Oh my gosh, I have so many ideas now. Real quick, we're gonna stencil on this. Oh, what do I have on the back of here? I have paint on. Oh, I don't know how well the stencil's gonna come out. It's got bits of paint on it. So it says Cuddle Weather. I'm going to get some black chalk paste. I'm going to go ahead and do, where is it? Where's my, there it is. My glittering black. It's a little more vintage looking. So this is the Cuddle Weather, came from the Fall Minis from Magnolia. So you can get to my website. Oh, yeah, that didn't go through. To get this set. Oh, yep, there was something clogging it. That's okay. Put that in some water to wash. Dry it. It's smeared a little bit, but we're going to distress this. I think I'm going to come in with black paint on the edges of this, because the sanding won't show a whole lot when you're using white paint. So we'll take our paint and we will do a little distressing. All right, so there's Cuddle Weather. Here is Let It Snow. This is from one of the winter minis sets. There we go. Still have paste on here. This is paste because it is washable. If you don't know what Magnolia is, it's all about stencils, washable paste, washable ink, surfaces. And there are some rub-on transfers and now some printables. Make sure this looks good. It does. Get this dry. Now I'm going to put that in the water. I'm going to get my paint back out and I'm just going to scrape along the edges a little bit of paint for an aged look. I put it up, didn't I? Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where's it? There it is. Okay. I could use a squeegee for this too. Am I losing ya? There's a lot to this. So many ways to use it. Yes. Okay, so here's Let It Snow and here is Cuddle Weather. And I'm just going to dip this in, get a little bit of paint, and we are just going to scrape these edges. I'll do one side at a time, and it just gives it an aged look. So I have this like at a 45-degree angle on the edges, and I'll come down this spike a little bit, because this is supposed to be a plant stake, I should say, not spike. You just kind of scrape it so you get some paint, and you can go a little flatter if you want it to be more distressed. I want a little bit more in a couple of spots. I'll do the same thing on the other side after this dries. There. See that? This looks a little bit aged. Now I can lay this down to dry. And we'll come back to this and let's toss in a few florals. Okay, so I've got floral foam from Dollar Tree. You could glue this down if you want to. I'm not going to, so that we can change it out. I'm just going to drop it in, and yes, it still has the plastic on it. That's fine. You could glue it down with the plastic, and that'd be easy to remove. And I went to the Hobby Lobby clearance, and I got some winter florals. So we will, gotta cut the labels off. Hold tight, guys. I got 2 of 3 different ones. There we go. So I got them at 60% off. And they are very glittery, snowy. So we will. Unfortunately, glitter's not my favorite thing, but I use it for a couple of times of year when I do the winter stuff, some Christmas, some Valentine's, and every once in a while with a little bit of Mother's Day. Otherwise, I avoid the glitter like the plague. Spinning the wheel in 3 minutes. If you have not spread the video out, you can, and you can still get in on her gifting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, I probably need more florals in this, but we're going to go with these for now. And I think I will, I can put some Spanish moss in here to fill in the bottom of the box. That should be probably taller. And you can fluff these out. Oh my goodness, getting glitter in my paint. Probably should have shaken them outside a little bit. Okay. Oh, don't bend. It is wire, so you can bend it if you need to. Go down in on there a little bit further. This thing is already bending because it's so heavy. And then the last 2, I think I'm going to go one right here to the inside. And they're not as tall as those green ones, huh? One right here. What do you think? So it looks pretty from all sides. They need to go down a little bit further. I'll probably trim, like cut off the ends, and that way they'll shove down a little bit heavier. And after we're done, I'm going to go ahead and do the paint edging on this other side, but we'll start with this one. And this can go right down into the, if I can find a spot for it. Yeah. It needs to be out of the way of that. Right into your floral foam as well. There's your cuddle weather. I would turn it. I need to turn it more so it's more visible. I have to take it back out and put it back in so it's a better angle. But there is our little tool caddy. Okay. These florals have got to go down in further. I will get that. We will get that taken care of. What do you think? What do you think? I see some hearts. Add the moss. Yes, it needs some Spanish moss to fill in. That'll look a whole lot better. This one needs to be down in further. Yeah, they all need to be down in further. We'll get it. So, there's your tool caddy. Vintage cutting board tool box kit from the Rust Cover Cottage on the sale for the BOGO, half off through the end of the day Sunday. And watch Christina's page for the spinning of the wheel so that if you sprinkle this out, you might be getting Happy Mail. Thank you for being here, guys. The affiliate link helps me if you go shopping on her site. There's a Magnolia link as well if you want the stencils. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. And Christina, thank you so much for letting me be on here on both pages to show the project. I love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.